This is what Jews. It's okay. So funny story. I had a whole Lutheran confirmation class come through. So about 20 teenagers and like their parents. They all want to see what a service is like. And I said, of course, we're always open for anyone who wants to come in on Friday nights. They all lined in and they all just took up the back rows. It's like the two back rows, the whole thing. And I was like, can you all just kind of come forward? Like this is not. I don't feel great about this. And they're like, oh, sorry, it's a Lutheran thing. Like, this is what we do. And then at the end, they want to take a picture with me and all of them together. So they're all going to propose to line up, and then I will stand next to them, right? If this is Jews, it's like a 20-minute wait for them to line up. And I was like, okay, well, I'll wait here. And then, so I wait there for like a second, and then suddenly they're all boom, lined up right away. And I was like, what is happening? And they're like, oh, we're Lutherans. We let really well. It's like a thing that we do. So. Lutherans? Yeah. Huh. That's funny. Yeah, I didn't know about that, but
the food takes a long time. I'm just used to eating.
Oh, we got a little congregant over here. Hello, lady. Okay. Yeah. All right, y'all. We're on page. I don't know what page. 128, I think. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manaim, shevet achiot gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achiot gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achiot gam yachad. Okay, moving over to the Chad, which you can find. Achim and then Achiot. So Achim is brothers, Achiot is sisters. We're making it egalitarian. Okay, moving over to 138 of your prayer books for the Chad. And we're going to recite paragraphs 1, 5, and 9. We arrive on paragraph 9, I invite you all to stand up and face the entrance as we greet the Shabbat Grai. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem lefeterit v'letila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva ore kumi ori, uri shir daberi, kivod Adonai aleka negila. Lecha dodi Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise. Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala, Gam bismicha uvtzola, Toch emunei am segula, Bo'i chala. Lecha dodi likra kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 You may be seated. We move over to Shalom Alechem, which is on page 142. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now turn the page to 144. Yitkadal v'yitkada shemei rabba, Bilma divrach yotev yamlik malchutei, B'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayedechol beit Yisrael, Bagala, uvizman kariv, v'imaru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach, le'olam ulal me'al mayam. Yitbarach v'yisachak, v'yitpa'ar v'yitpramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal, shemei dekudasham barichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shiratam, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'al miran be'elmam, v'imaru amen. Turn down to 146, and when you arrive there, I invite you to rise with me. Lie, 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 Baruch may be seated. Let's read together on the English on top of page 149. Praise you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Aramiv Ravim. Now turn the page and let's read the English on the bottom part of 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this of holiest of your works in the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Now move over to 152 for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malachuto Leolam Avad. 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levacha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meyodecha v'hayu hadevarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzovecha hayom al levavecha v'shinartam levarnecha b'divarta ba'am v'shivtecha b'veitecha Uptecha hava derech, ushofecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leyot al yadecha, v'hayilatot tafot beineinecha, uktavtam al mizuzo beitecha, uvisharecha. Lema'am tizkiru v'asitem et chol mitzvotai, v'tem kiroshim leiloechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher tzitzietchem meretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Now let's read together in the English on top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, and there's a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. 158. Lie, 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 lie. Mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'adar ba'kodesh. No ra tehilot osei efele. No ra tehilot osei efele. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Let's read the English together on top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haparesh shukat shalom, aleni v'akol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Moving over now to page 162. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam. B'nei Yovein, B'nei Yisrael, Oti le'olam. V'shamru B'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam. Ki shechet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam barit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash Shavat vayinafash, Shavat vayinafash, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, ledorotam barit olam. We now move to the Amidah on 164, and when you arrive there, I invite you to stand. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagitei latecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagitei latecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol v'Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula L'Ifnei B'neihem L'man Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai V'Chayei Kol Atah Rav Le'Yoshia Mashiv haruach u'marid haga Hashem Mechakel chayim bechesed Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim berofei cholim U'matir asurim U'mekayem emunato Lishanei afar Michamocha ba'al urot U'miton elach Melech memit u'mechayeh U'matmir Yeshua Le'man atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol. We will now continue silently until page 180. You'll be seated whenever you like. Say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol Yisrael. Ve'yakol yoshvei tevel. Vimru, vimru, amen. Say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol Yisrael. Ve'yakol yoshvei tevel. Vimru, vimru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. 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 Okay, I have some more Torah here. So this week's portion, last portion of Genesis. And so when we finish the portion, we say chazak, chazak, hitzayek. It means strength or strong, strong, be strengthened. So we're it. We as of this week, we finish Genesis. We move on to Exodus. Time has moved by so fast. I feel like we just started Genesis, but okay. And so in this portion of Genesis, which is a fascinating one, the narrator of Genesis describes what I can only imagine is a logistics nightmare. The problem is that Jacob, who traveled to Egypt to be closer to his son Joseph, ends up dying in Egypt. And as he does, he is promised to be buried back in the land of Canaan. Thus, Joseph and his brothers are tasked with carrying Jacob's remains all the way from Egypt to Canaan. And the trip is not without some big complications. Now, because Joseph is the current viceroy of Egypt, and thus the second most powerful man in the land, a whole entourage of Egyptians travel with Jacob's body to Canaan. And this entourage turns out to be almost all the powerful Egyptian officials that you can think of, with the exception of Pharaoh. So, picture like a large group of people, some of them Jacob's grown children and their families, and some of them the most powerful people in Egypt. And then the narrator describes that a bunch of sheep and chariots and soldiers join the entourage as well. So all of them following Jacob's body to the land of Canaan. So now you have this massive group of siblings, court officials, animals, and soldiers all traveling to Canaan together to bury Jacob. So it's a pretty complex situation, and it only gets stranger from here. Inexplicably, they stop at a place which the Torah calls Goren Ha'atad, which means the threshing floor of the thorn bush. In other words, this place gives us no clues as to why they stopped here, and frankly, that name sounds made up. So, for whatever reason, they stopped there for 7 days for what the Torah calls a period of lamentation. Now, 7 would be the appropriate number for days to observe Shiva, but traditionally we do not observe Shiva until after a loved one's body is buried. And we certainly do not observe Shiva in the middle of transporting a body. So it's highly unorthodox when it comes to Jewish practices. So I'm guessing maybe this is some Egyptian custom. But anyways, the Canaanites were so impressed with this entourage mourning that they renamed this place Abel Mitzrayim, which essentially means the Egyptians mourned here. Now in the Torah, after this layover at Abel Mitzrayim, Joseph successfully buries his father in the field of Machpelah, which is where Abraham buries Sarah. This is a bit problematic because Abraham didn't bury Sarah in the land Canaan, but a little north, but whatever. I won't get into that for this sermon. And then Joseph and his brothers, they head back home to Egypt. But the Babylonian Talmud was not satisfied with this ending and takes the story to a whole crazy direction. The Talmud here, with no evidence or basis from the Torah whatsoever, claims that none other than Esau, Jacob's brother, attempts to stop the burial from happening because Esau claims that there's only one spot left in the burial cave, and that spot is for him. And thus the Talmud perfectly preserves a conversation between Esau and Jacob's sons that never actually happened. And it goes like this. The sons of Esau say, "You sold your burial plot." And Esau responds, "Hold on a minute. I sold my firstborn birthright, but I did not sell my simple rights as Isaac's son." Then Jacob's sons reply, "Well, way back there in Genesis chapter 50, verse 5, our father told us that he bought this burial site." To which Esau replies in typical Jewish fashion, "Well, do you have the contract?" The Babylonian Talmud is quick to point out that the sons believe that Esau is stalling, but they must admit to Esau that they have left Jacob's contract back in Egypt. So the brothers send Naphtali back to Egypt. He's supposed to be the fastest of all the brothers, apparently, to fetch the contract and bring it back to where they are, and everyone waits. But before Naphtali can come back, one of Jacob's grandsons, Hushim, son of Dan, decides to take the matters into his own hands. And as the Babylonian Talmud describes it, he grabs a stick, hits Esau in the head with it, and kills him instantly. And the Talmud goes on to describe how Esau's eyes even popped out. He was hit so hard. And Jacob, who is still stone cold dead, apparently opens his eyes and smiles at this development. And then the Talmud, anticipating that the readers would feel like horror over these events, attempts to soothe us by saying it's okay, because in Psalm 58 it says, "The righteous man will rejoice when he sees revenge, and he will bathe in his feet in the blood of the wicked." And that's how the Talmud chooses to end this story. And I am not soothed by that explanation. The Talmud here weaves like a ridiculous and violent story. And it's surprising for it to come from such a venerated source, a source which on most occasions prioritizes legal action over violence. Esau was essentially using legal measures to prevent Jacob's burial. And Hushim's solution is to really bury both brothers instead of waiting for the contract to come back from Egypt, which is completely uncharacteristic of the Talmud's normal message. But this story from the Talmud did not happen in a vacuum. There are other Jewish stories from different sources that explain this very moment in very similar ways. There's one story that says Esau had his whole army was with him during this time. And other commentators believe that Psalm 58 was always pointing to Esau as that wicked person. So the Babylonian Talmud essentially gets on the bandwagon that Esau was evil and deserved to be killed for his sins. And it's due to these stories that Esau never gets a fair shake in our tradition. Essentially, the Jewish commentary tradition ruins Esau's reputation as the convenient fall guy. Well, ironically, my own sense of Jewish justice compels me to defend Esau. I actually would like to step back a moment and wonder, why does our Jewish commentary tradition dislike Esau so much? That it essentially permits violence against him when it abhors violence almost everywhere else. And I can't help but feel like our ancient commentators are extremely frustrated with Esau. Their apocryphal story of Esau holding up a burial using delay tactics and bad faith is an act of extreme aggression without it being violent. And it takes a difficult and troubled person who is willing to act in such a way. And if anybody disrupted a burial that I was officiating in the way that Esau did, I admit perhaps that a flash of violence would occur to me for a moment as well. So maybe what we're seeing here is not a logical recourse for violence, but the manifestation of pent-up frustration spelled out in this violent moment. That the Talmud said out loud what everyone was thinking. And another important value in our tradition is one cannot sin with thoughts alone. We believe in freedom of thought. We do not judge thoughts. Thoughts are not good or bad. Only actions can be judged as blessings or sins. And I've been joking throughout this sermon that the Talmud made up this story about Esau. And perhaps ancient Talmud scholars would respond to my criticism by saying, that's exactly right. This is made up. This is what we are thinking. Nobody was harmed in the making of this story. So perhaps the Talmud is conveying a point about humanity. That people, for whatever reason, can do frustrating, aggravating things. And it's only human to wish them ill, which our tradition permits, because we are free to think our thoughts. But our actions matter. And while we imagine clobbering a difficult people like Esau, it must stop there. And that perhaps is what makes Esau a productive fall guy. He represents that person who triggers you so badly, but instead of taking it out on that person, we take it out on Esau. I feel sorry for the man, but I admit Esau's destroyed reputation is a better alternative than acting out a violent thought. Anyways, thank you. We're now moving on to the Misha Berach in our prayer book, which is on page 371 of the prayer books. In our own community, we're thinking about these people who are in need of healing: Ross Rumack, Frank Irwiskin, Haley Goodstein, Alex Sportnick, Micah Purdy, Susan Mermelstein, Megan Crass, Kara Clift, Deborah Moradian, and Pat and Denny Victor. If there's someone who you are thinking of who is in need of healing, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts. Mishe Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Lekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We now move to the Eleni on page 587 of your prayer books. When you arrive there, I invite you to stand with me. Shabbat la'adon ha'kol, la'tekin la'yotze ha'breshi, Shahu samchel ken le'chaydet shemo, v'garalein lahamlik malchuto, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtacharim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Turn to page 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. We would never lift up our hand but to conquer fear, doubt, and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity, and cause the light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech kol ha'aretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo We now turn to the Mourner's Kosh on page 598 of our prayer books. In our own community, we're thinking about these yard sites this week. Marvin Affey, Ann Kamener, Maurice Geckler, Sylvia Goodstein, Isadora Gutenberg, Megan Hayden, Jane Leon, Niesel Rose, Vivian Schiff, and Marion Silverbrook. And we're also in a period of Shloshim for Ted Purdy. If there's someone who you're thinking about, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts. Nom Livracha, may memories be for a blessing. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, b'ilma divra chiyotei v'yamlik malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayedachol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam u'lomei almaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitbramam v'yitnaseh, V'tadar v'taleh v'talal shemedu kudasha barichu. Le'elah min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, dal miran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleni v'yakol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'asei shalom, aleni v'yakol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the Lord create harmony and high, bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. You may be seated. Not much for announcements these days. Let me think. Just tomorrow we got Saturday morning services at 10:30. We got religious school back up again on Sunday, starting at 9:30. And we got morning minions both at 8:30, or both Wednesday at 8:30 over Zoom, and then on Thursdays 8:30 here in person. And we go to have pancakes afterwards. What else am I forgetting? Is that about it? Right, around 1. Yeah. Judaism 101 will be, or Exploring Judaism will be about Shabbat this on the third Saturday. That's just at 9 on a Zoom room. Next Saturday, is that next Saturday? Is it next Saturday, third Saturday? It is, isn't it? Oh my gosh, it's going by. And then we have a board meeting next. Yes, which the public is allowed to come. Right. Okay. That's it? Okay, great. Let's move over to 647 for our closing melody. At the very bottom. Ozi vazimrat ya vayechi lishua. 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 Ozi vazimrat yam Vayehi lishua. Shabbat shalom.
If you saw everyone's eyes go over there.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're describing. I've seen it before. I just didn't see it this time. Yeah.
The trees